Okay, guys, this is Blitz. I think this is the game that I want to look at. I'm almost certain it is. People had been requesting me to do a Storm video that dealt with the late game or how to come back in games that you're behind. This is weird because I personally wasn't really behind in this game, and I actually looked through a few of my replays, and something that usually happens is if I die once or twice in the lane or get behind, what ends up happening is we just lose straight up. So this isn't going to show you so much what to do when you're behind personally. It's going to show you what to do when you're behind in general. And I'll briefly talk about, I guess, what ends up happening if you were to if you were to get behind. So the one great thing about Storm is that he kind of works like anti-mage in a lot of ways, where if you do get behind in farm, you can always flash farm the jungle to catch back up. For example, I think I played a game, it was too late to record, but it was like 2 weeks ago, and I had been 2-0'd in the lane. I'd been ganked repeatedly by Mirana. I got far really quickly behind. But something I want you to know is that Storm, especially as a hero, has a lot of different ways to catch up. The key is that you have to have a good mentality. I know that sounds corny and stuff, but you have to learn to stay focused and not get tilted. Anybody that watches my stream or my content knows that that's very difficult for me, and it's easier said than done. But generally, whenever I have a more positive outlook, even just excluding what my team is doing, I tend to have a better time, and I tend to just stay a little bit more focused. Um, I haven't played a game in solo queue where I've been behind and then won, but as soon as I get one, I'll upload that. And so this one, I want to just focus on situations where you're behind in game. Something I really read on Reddit quite frequently is this whole concept of I'm stuck in 3K, but my teammates hold me back, or I'm stuck at whatever MMR. This is trench hell. Every single game I play, I go godlike and have this crazy impact, but manage to lose. And I want to just tell you that's false. Almost every person I've talked to that's told me that says, "Oh, I have this amazing impact and I go godlike every game." I always ask them for their Dota buffs, and sometimes they oblige, sometimes they don't. But every single time, without exception, whenever I look at that person's Dota buff profile, half of the games they feed, half of the games they do well. It's not even half of the games they do well. It's like a third of the games they do well, and they get so honed in the games that they did well, they ignore the times. Like there'll be a lot of games where they went 1-9, and they got carried, and it seems like they just forget those games. And that's a really terrible attitude to have. Like you're not going to win every single game of Dota, but if you're a consistent enough player, you should be moving up in MMR. I guess the other thing too is you can't, if you're a 3K player and you want to move up, you can't be playing at a 3K level. You have to be playing at a level higher than that. For example, if you're only playing with 3K players and you're trying to move up in MMR and you do 50% well, 50% poorly, you're not really going to gain. What you're aiming to do is about 200, 300 MMR consistently above that level to move up. So something I want to talk to you guys about today, I guess, is the mentality of everyone on your team feeding or sucking and trying to come back from impossible scenarios. I think what I really like about Storm especially is that he can do things that no other heroes can in terms of winning the late game. For example, my entire philosophy in matchmaking is this, is that the early game can go terribly wrong, whatever, that happens. I think I was about to record a game we were down, I want to say it was 22-0. I was actually streaming that game on my alt account, but we were down 22-0, and we still managed to win just because I played for the late game. I absolutely pushed for the late game, and that's my mentality and my goal in every single game, and I'd kind of like to share that with you guys today. So we're going to hop in really quickly into this game. I just wanted to tell you guys my mentality and my outlook, I guess, is just try to stay positive and have a game plan. Like a lot of people say, well, my teammates never listen to me, but 9 times out of 10, you can get a team where at least 2 people will do what you say if you have a game plan. You can't just say, we have to gank, we have to roam. You have to be specific. You have to have a plan that ends up working, that people can believe in. For example, if you're a commander or a leader and every single one of your strategies are not in depth or they just don't end up working, who's going to listen to you, right? I find that even at my level, when I play with Peruvians, Chinese players, whatever, people complain about Russians. If I have a game plan and I consistently know what I'm talking about and I'm doing well, then it's really easy for people to follow me, and it makes it easier for them to trust me, for one. It also helps that if you use your in-game mic and just stay calm and say, okay, look, this is the game plan, this is what we have to do. So for this game, I decided I was going to stay really calm, and I think I'll chat a few times because I got really hyped and stuff like that. So if I say like something rude, or don't expect too much out of it. Alright, so this is solo queue matchmaking. This is at the, I think I was 6950 MMR at this point. I'm not saying that to brag, it's just more to tell you that that means the enemy team has quite decent MMR. If I remember correctly, the Juggernaut was 6.3k, the Wind Ranger was 5 point some odd points. Everybody on their team was okay, everybody on my team was about average. They were like 4k or something like that. And so they're meant to lose their lanes, and I completely expect that. So just looking at the lineups really quickly, we have a Troll, a Lion, an Omni Knight, a Storm, and a Clockwork. We have pretty good initiation. Our team fight is okay. We don't really have a lot of AoEs. We've got Clockwork for Lockdown and me for Lockdown and Lion, and that's pretty good. Omni is the ultimate team fighter. They don't really have a natural Diffusal carrier because this is going to be a support Mirana. And Jug with a Diffusal it's pretty okay. It's not optimal because you want to try to build Manta, but I guess it's alright. So what we should be trying to do is Roshan at some point, prevent them from Roshing. Troll right now is a really strong hero in the metagame, so is Juggernaut. If I just look at this lineup off the bat, their ability to catch me is kind of low. They do have a lot of burst damage, but the only way that they can catch me is if this guy gets a Hex or a Blink Dagger, or if this guy has a Blink Dagger, which of course he'll get. And so what I want you to know is this is how I consider the game and how it's going to go late game and how it's going to look. I have to think to myself, I have to watch out for Mirana arrows, I have to always watch what the Wind Ranger's item progression is, and I have to know when the Sand King gets his Blink Dagger, because as soon as he gets it, he'll try to gank me. And in the late game especially, I have to know where the Sand King is, or the Wind Ranger, and what their item progressions are, so that I can get the jump off on them. So that's the first thing that I want to think of every time I take a fight. And I've already started thinking about the late game. The thing about playing with teammates that you find are stupid or useless is that you shouldn't focus on stuff like that. You should just focus on the things that you can do to get yourself into the late game and what you have to do once you get there. Like, the early game is so flexible and volatile. Things can go 10-0 in a heartbeat where you just lose fight after fight. But what you can control is what you start doing in the mid and the late game. So this game, I do go for the bounty rune. I think in my earlier guide I said don't, but my teammates, or at least one or two of them, recognized me. So they were saying, okay, we can secure Blitz the bounty rune and stuff like that. So I'll have the last hits and denies up here. I'll actually just have the net worth. I'm going to skim through this really quickly. So off the bat, my net worth is quite poor. I actually get 1-0. Let's see how that happens. Maybe this is a good replay to watch from where I get behind. So I'm sitting in the mid lane. I've already died. Wow, that was incredibly quick. Okay, so apparently I died. I can't remember how. Alright, so I'm sitting in the mid lane, yada yada yada. There's a Mirana here and a Sand King here. I've got no ward vision of them. I'm sitting in the middle right here. I push up for that. I get arrowed. I'm going to die 100%. First blood doesn't go to this guy, but he does get a lot of golden XP out of it. And off the bat, you can see that he's got 200 net worth on me. And no biggie, I've only got 3 CS, but I buy a TP. I think to myself, okay, I shouldn't let myself get picked off like that. That was a bad start. But here's the thing, is that it's still an early level, and Wind Ranger, although she does outrange me, you can still do a lot to catch up. I can still kill her when I hit level 6. That's the thing, is that unless it's a hero like Queen of Pain or Earth Spirit or some hero that can kill you if they hit 6 and you don't, you're generally okay against matchups like Invoker or Wind Ranger if you're behind them in levels, because they don't have the burst damage to kill you necessarily. It's just in some matchups where the level advantage really means a lot. I'm blanking off the top of my head, but there are some where if they get their ultimate, they just straight up kill you. But Wind Ranger isn't one of those, and so I don't have to play so scared. What I do have to worry about this time is arrows, so I have to watch my movement a little bit better, and I have to pay attention a little more to where the Mirana is and stuff like that, so I'll turn on my fog. But from a laning perspective, I can play the same way. I can still push up for CS. I can still harass using my overload. Wind Ranger only has 2 armor, so unless she pops her Wind Run, then I'm in an okay position. So I'll turn on the fog right here. So I'm not scared. I walk up, I drop that Remnant, I right-click her a few times. I'm still not too worried about the lane. Like, I've still got a lot of regen. I'm only 300 gold for my bottle. Things are not the worst thing in the world. The lane is going to push down eventually. I'm going to try to go for that deny there. I don't get it. Do get that last hit, though. This is really annoying. I've still got, like, the stun animation on me. I'm pretty sure I eat a tango right now. And I just kind of play back. I play safe. Notice that I ate the tango further away from me because I'm closer to my lane. Meaning that there's less distance that I have to travel when I'm not on my high ground. Like, when I'm over here and I need to eat a tango, and I don't want to walk to his high ground, I can just eat this tree. I know that seems like a minimal detail, but it seems to matter a lot to me. So I've still almost got my bottle at a reasonable time. I saw that arrow coming. She actually got quite low, but she has wind run, so she's just trying to bait me out. And she actually shoots a shackle, and I keep getting ganked. So this is quite annoying right now. I'm already behind 400 net worth at 2 minutes, and for a lot of people this might be a position where they think to themselves, I'm screwed, I keep getting ganked, team no call missing and stuff like that, but I still remain calm. I'm not that far behind. XP is relatively even. I wasn't out of the lane for too long. I got the bounty rune. There's still a lot of things working in my favor, and so as long as I don't panic too hard, I should be okay. So I'm picking up my bottle right now. Gonna bottle up. 1, 2, 3. Another arrow flies at me. This guy's still camping me mid. But, you know, if I remember correctly from this game, I wasn't too frustrated. I just thought to myself, okay, they're ganking me. That means my side lanes should be getting a lot, which they aren't. This offlane Zeus has somehow done a lot. Like, my troll right now has 15 CS at 3 minutes, and their Juggernaut has 19. But he's a Jugs against a Clockwork, and this is a Zeus. And
hey, wake up.
I feel like this should be easier. AUI's poking me right
wake
now.
Up. Hey,
oh my god, they're all poking
hey,
me.
Wake up.
I have to disconnect.
Hey, wake up.
Oh, I have to.
Wake up.
You guys are the worst. They're gonna see this in this
up.
video, and I'm gonna be so mad at them. I'm recording a video. Alright, so AUI and Frenzy were just poking me in TeamSpeak, so sorry for that. But I don't want to go back in time and delete that or edit it. It's a natural moment. I'll join next. They're asking me to play CSGO. Okay, so the rest of this lane, though, it goes okay. I decide to bottle crow once. I do have a crow. That's alright. I'm getting my boots right now. I know the Mirana's here. Of course, it's a little bit frustrating and annoying for that guy to always sit on top of my lane. But I'm still doing the same things that I would if I were even in the lane from when I'm behind. And I'm just trying not to get onto his hill and take a 1v1 right-click fight. I'm rarely going to right-click him unless I'm pushing up. So... And I'm constantly playing back now. My bottle's coming in. I don't have to play this unsafe. I can sacrifice a few CS here and there. And you're generally okay with this. So we'll speed it up a little. Wow, that arrow was so close to me. He's still camping me at 4 minutes into the game. I think he's been firing like an arrow a minute. So he's been steadily on my case. At this point, a lot of people would have said, okay, this game's over. I've already died once. But look at my CS. I've still hit my benchmark. I'm above 25 at 5 minutes. It's really impossible for him to deny me if I use Remnant to CS. And now I'm level 6, and so the possibility of me dying is really low. I've bottle crowed once already. I'm not relying on the runes because I know that both supports are rotating around. My Clockworks died. It's 4-1 right now in their favor. I know he's going to power shot. Yep. So I dodge out of the way. A lot of people don't realize that, like, look at this scenario right now. I just want to show that again really quickly. So he attacked this creep. This creep's already low. And so what good players do is that they're going to line this up so that they get all three. And right, he gets both of those CS. He misses uphill on that one. I think he misplayed that a little. He should have gotten more CS out of that. But it's just a little obvious how he does that. So I'm bottling up to full, because I still want full mana in case I can go on him. And he's actually getting quite low here. I think I might decide after this. So our troll disconnects at this point, but he doesn't really have, he has less net worth than me, which makes 0 sense because he hasn't died and he's a short lane. And he's been uncontested because they've been on my case all day. And I'm not really sure what happens here. So we resume the game. Finally, okay, so I'm not sure what happened right here. Okay, so I see mid right now. He's at 400 HP. I know he has wind run up, but I'm going to pop the Remnant and the thing anyways. And right here, really quickly, you'll notice that he pops the wind run, but it only lasts for 3 seconds. And I rolled behind him, and so he had to use the first initial tick of his wind run to get behind me. I still have 167 mana. My overload charge won't proc until it actually hits him. He only has 3 armor, so if I just get 2 overload procs, then he's dead. But he doesn't realize that yet, and what he's going to do, I know off the bat, without even watching this, he's going to try to power shot me because I'm at such a low HP range. So here's my plan. I attack him once, I roll behind him, he power shots the front, but I've got the behind on him. I'll always get behind him. So if he wants to power shot me, he has to fully churn his body. And I showed in my last guide the importance of that. It makes it so much easier to time what they're going to do if you see what direction they're facing. Like, I've played this matchup tons of times, maybe dozens. That's a lot for a one-on-one matchup against an odd hero. And I think I've done it on stream a lot, and I rarely die from power shots, and I'll always force these kinds of scenarios because it's actually quite obvious where the power shot's going to go if you watch where their hero's positioned. So I'm going to put this in slow motion. So I'm attacking, I get the auto attack off, I attack him one more time, he shoots that, he shoots the power shot as well, he's still facing this direction, and that's a free kill. And so we'll just watch that again really quickly. So initially I roll behind him. The key is to always roll behind somebody if you're going to go for stuff like this. So I roll right behind him, I drop the remnant, that way the remnant lands as well. I pull to waste his wind run time. He shoots the power shot and the shackle to try to one-shot me. And if he had hit that, he would have killed me, but I felt pretty confident in the fact that I could have dodged that. And I made it a little bit close. I actually thought I was going to die to get that kill, but you can disjoint attacks with even a little bit of mana in your ball lightning. And because I'm the luckiest person in the world, I get a regen. Nope, Sand King's waiting smoke there. And he misses his stun because he's only level 2, and level 2 stun has the shortest range in the entire world. Oh my god, that arrow was dangerously close. He's almost got his stun again, but people are TPing on my team. Omni Knight, everybody comes to help me. So at this point, I've been camped pretty hard. I think I actually decide to try to get this kill with no mana or HP, but he decides he does the smart thing, he stuns out. And so I've been camped relatively long. My Troll Warlord is still disconnected, and so I've still only got 200 net worth on this Wind Ranger, but I think the XP is what matters the most, because I'm level 8 and she's only level 6 right now. And this Juggernaut is getting absolute free farm. I expect this out of a player that's at this MMR range, 6.2k. You should be able to free farm. I think if I remember correctly, my Troll was like 4.2 or something like that, so I guess I can't really blame him for having troubles free farming, but okay. So how did I set up that gank really quick? I just want to show you. When I'm in my base, I'm looking around the map really quickly, I believe. So if you just look at my player perspective, here's what I do. How do I select my hero? Why is this not working? I'm not actually sure. I think I look up there and ping that though. Okay, so let's go back in time. Okay, so I'm looking around at top. I see that the lane is pushed in. I see that he's not backing up from the lane. I know that if I TP into this corner, he's still going to farm these 3 creeps out. He doesn't have enough mana to ult and spin, and if he wastes his spin right there, I can chase him down for the free kill. And this is just how you kind of pressure the carry. I know a lot of people don't like pressuring carries and stuff like that, but I think it's really effective because it slows down his farm quite a bit. My Troll Warlord is still disconnected, and it's still only 5-3. They still have a pretty decent advantage because my Troll hasn't been in the game for quite some time. I'm going to speed up the perspective a lot. I know a lot of times, though, when I watch people's perspectives when they go back to base, they just watch their own hero. They're looking while they run back for some reason, instead of looking at the map. Like, watching the minimap isn't enough. Like, physically looking, clicking at items, checking what people have, stuff like that's what really matters. So we're going to jump ahead a little bit. It's 8 minutes in. My Troll is 0-0-0. I'm using him to farm neutral creeps because, I don't know, it's 4-6 right now. I get killed right here. So I'm actually a lot further behind than I normally am. I'm 3-2-0. My Juggernaut's been disconnected for quite some time. That was my killing spree on the Jug as well, so he's now shot up to the leaderboard at 4.9k. This Wind Ranger has 4.3k. My Troll is my second highest net worth, but he's been disconnected for 5 minutes, and I've got an off-lane Clockwork that only has 1.4k. And so now we're just extremely far behind, considering the circumstances. At 9 minutes, it's about 3k net worth. But keep in mind that my Troll is still disconnected. Alright, so he finally reconnects. He joins the game. I think he immediately goes and feeds. Okay, so he's okay for now. How do I speed up the game? There you go. So I'm not really sure what happens with him. I mean, look at the net worth difference between him and the Jug, though. The Jug actually almost doubles him. And he disconnects again. And at this point, I've kind of given up. I was like, okay, this troll is not going to come back. I think he actually just suicides at top. Yeah, he actually just kills himself at top, which is incredibly frustrating. But what can you do, right? Just the nature of the game. So I don't actually remember where the troll dies at. He's still alive at this point. Okay, so he just decides to farm up here. And then I think the Juggernaut just comes and ganks him. And he's 0-0-0. He has to know the Jug has ultimate. Yeah, he just gets ulted and dies. And the troll is like... It's really frustrating at this point because he's 0-1. He keeps disconnecting. He's got no farm because he's been DC'd for like 10 minutes. My troll also kept saying YOLO. So I said, whatever, my troll's like YOLO. Doesn't think he cares if we win or lose. Which he didn't. He just kept typing in chat. He's like, whatever, man, we lost. It's like, my internet shit. And he's like, who cares? And he kept flaming us all for not pausing. Even though this game's been paused for like 10 minutes. So, everything has gone to shit right now. My net worth is not where it normally is. It's only 400 of the mid-hero. And I think at some point future on, my troll actually just permanently disconnects. I think it's about... So 16 minutes in, my troll disconnects for the last time, does not come back in. He's 0-3-0. He's fed the other team quite a bit. Their Juggernaut is insane farm at this point. Their off-lane Zeus has more farm than our carry. My two supports are near the bottom of the list. My Omni Knight is below their roaming Mirana. My Clockwork, I can't really blame my Clockwork because it's Clockwork. And so my safe lane core is down. And a lot of people at this point would say, okay, I'm done, hands in the air, whatever, this game's over, we can't win, you know, fucking matchmaking Valve, giving me these terrible teammates, all that jazz. All of these excuses would be said, but here's the way that I look at the game. I thought to myself, okay, you know what? Screw this. I'm going to win this game no matter what. I just made a decision. I said, I'm going to prove that I'm a good player to myself. I wasn't streaming this. I said, I'm just going to win this game. So I pick up my Orchid, and the first thing I'm thinking off the bat, once I grab my Orchid, is I'm going to look for one key kill, and I'm going to just try to pick off one hero at a time. That's all it takes with Storm. Is they're going to play cocky because they think it's a 4-on-5 and our core's dead, so let's take advantage of that. So we're going to go around the map, trying to get kills and stuff like that. That guy's dead at this point. I think I actually picked up 2 kills. I have to jump around this replay so much just to look for stuff. Okay, so we know they're going to go for Roshan because they have a Juggernaut, and that's just what Juggernauts do. So I told my Clockwork, hey, just keep firing rockets into the Roche pit, and we'll try to defend it the best we can. I was like, and we're just doing some alt-chat banter. I don't think people should care so much about alt-chat stuff, but... So we know that they're roshing, my team is assembled, they pick off this Mirana, they're playing really sloppy on the enemy team. They used to be really clean, but they think they've won at this point. So we check with that. I'm going to actually go in first, because I know that the Juggernaut is kind of low. I YOLO roll into 3 heroes, and my Clockwork actually gets like the Dream Hook cogs out. I've got like 17 HP, but I pull back. Their Zeus has died at this point. I get power shotted. I've got like 10 health, but I get healed. My entire team is still alive. This is a really well-placed sentry ward. And look at that. Just like that, because the enemy team decided to be sloppy and careless, we've just picked up a huge fight. We can't Roshan. For a second, I was like, go Roshan, Eternal Envy style, but there was no way. We just don't have the damage to do it. And this Mirana's going to spawn in. It's a low and level game, but we've delayed it further, right? And I think at this point, the gold lead for them, it was at 70, it was like 8k already, but now it's only 5k, which is kind of manageable. I think it's a bit of an anomaly because my troll's net worth is still in play or something like that, and the XP advantage was absolutely staggering, but now we've gotten closer to 0, and I think to myself, okay, maybe this game is still winnable. We're going to check Roshan. At some point, you just have to give it up, because it's not worth playing the position over and over again, because they're on Dire side, it's 4-on-5, the game just gets riskier and riskier for us. So at this point I say, okay, I'm going to farm out my own jungle, I'm going to go back to base, pick up my Soul Ring. That's the first component. I'm going to go Bloodstone. A lot of people might look at this lineup and think to themselves, I have to go BKB, but at this point I'm thinking to myself, I have to scale a lot more into the late game, and I just have to pick up items that will allow me to win at the 50-minute mark, not win at the 20-minute mark. Because if I get a BKB and it ends up failing, then we lose anyways. So they go to Roshan, can't stop that. But what I'm going to do is ignore that. I'm going to play the runes, and I'm going to play their jungle, and I'm going to wait for one hero to come up here in their safe lane and play unsafe. So this time it's the Mirana. Look that I farm out their jungle. It's the mid game right now. I do this every time. Once I get an Orchid, I'm going to look for a single hero pickoff. I Remnant just to see. I see her that she's there. I'm going to get one pickoff like this, and she's dead for sure. I'm going to roll out Soul Ring, not even testing this guy. Wow, that power shot actually nails me. I'm bottling the full in case the Zeus decides to ult. I even TP because I see one hero rotating over here. And yeah, I don't know what this is. I think that's a Juggernaut. It's just invis because of the map. So that's the Shadow Bladed Juggernaut. I guess the replay showed the animation for that. I'm not hacking or anything, guys. A Remnant there. I know right now, okay, so normally I like to farm on their side of the jungle, but I know that all heroes are around this area. And so I know that it's not safe, and they're going to anticipate it this time. And so now I'm going to move to our jungle and farm it safely. I see a Sand King coming in right here from this ward. If you notice really quickly. I think I see really fast, just for like a brief instant. And when you're this far behind, you just have to make snap decisions. So I see the Sand King right here. I'm over here. I see him from the ward. I decide I'm going to kill him really quickly. I'm able to pick him off. I know that their team is too far away at this point. So I get another kill. Now I'm unstoppable. I have died twice, but I've only died twice. My Clockwork lays some nice traps. And at this point, they're just getting a little bit sloppier. I shouted at my guy to blink, by the way, because I knew this Juggernaut was still on top of him. But I still can't help that. And now I'm actually first in net worth. Well, not anymore. And so we're still far behind, I think. We're behind by 7,500 gold. XP's actually in our favor now. And now at bottom, I've just decided to farm it out. Notice what I'm doing here, and I know it seems really obvious at this point, but here's what happened. I see 4 heroes right now at this mid lane. I know the Sand King's over here as well. Well, I just killed him. I don't know what the Zeus is. I have to assume that he's here. If 3 of the heroes are here, then you can assume a 4th is here. I know if the Mirana's over here, he's not going to arrow me. I've clicked his hero. I know he doesn't have anything like that. I checked this guy. He's going for an Aghanim, so no Blink Dagger, no Hex for him. This guy is a Shadow Blade, but I should almost always be able to survive his ultimate. Going to the top lane is risky because my top tower is really low, and that means they can transition from mid to top with the Aegis really easily. But this bottom lane, look how much space there is between me and them. So I can play this really greedy and just keep forcing up the wave, no problem. So right now, I'm going to just farm this out, and I'm just farming away from them. I'm telling my team, I'm screaming at them. I use the roll, I'm trying to flash farm this as fast as possible. I'm shouting at my team, I'm saying, don't fight them, don't engage, only fight at the high ground. We're going to win games at the high ground. So I go for this rune. You still have to play the runes. It's really important. I see this guy running away, this Mirana. See, the Zeus goes top. I actually TP up here. I know that these 2 heroes that are at bottom, they just rotated over to stop me. So I know this Zeus at top is a free kill, and I'm actually going to kill him really quickly. One more right click should do it. And now that's like my 6th kill in a row. And it's just a product of them getting sloppy, because instead of 5-manning, what they're doing right now is they're sending 4 heroes here, so that means I can split farm this out. And then they send 1 hero to defend this top, while 4 of them show up here. And they're just giving me so much information to work with. If the rest of their team, like for example, their Sand King played the Fog a lot more, then I would be a little bit worried, but we have pretty good ward vision. I know that this guy Sandstorm over here, I had just seen the Wind Ranger farm over here, so I know at worst the Jug will come, but I have to take this risk to kill this Zeus. So I kill this Zeus. I'm still looking for individual pickoffs, and I'm still looking to avoid fights. So the Juggernaut does come at top, but it takes him too long. He doesn't have a TP slot because, well, what is he going to drop? I grab a TP. TP is a Storm's best friend. I go to farm the bottom lane out. I know where they are in ward vision. I saw Sand King here. And remember, Sand King's the primary hero that's going to be used to initiate on me, so I just have to be worried about him. So I farm out this bottom lane. I'm farming away from them at all times. Wherever they are, I'm not. And it seems counterintuitive to like not look for fights in a 4-on-5, but I know for late game I can do stuff. So my Lion gets picked off too, but that's okay because look how much farm I've traded. I've almost caught up in net worth. I'm still sandwiched between the Wind Ranger and the Juggernaut. So I go to farm this. I know that 4 heroes have rotated down. So again, look what I do. I contest the lane furthest away from them, because I know I can contest this tower now too. And I roll into the middle of this wave. I'm trying to flash farm this as fast as possible. Like, that's what matters to me. Just farm quickly. push the wave, force them to make a decision. If they decide that they're going to keep going bottom, that's actually really good for me. People always complain, what do you do, Storm, when people 5-man? That's the best possible scenario. It means for 3 minutes I get to farm and push out a tower. If 5 heroes continue to go bottom, what does that mean? It means that I can take this top tower and I can still be in time to defend this. And that means if we do defend it, and I'm going my Bloodstone build, then I'll just stack up charges. And I'm geared towards the late game really well. So I roll into the center, I'm looking for the next wave, I'm waiting to see if they continue push. I say yes, I see that they are. We're throwing rockets out, I take a tier 1 for free now. And now I have to decide, okay, I have to fight this probably. I'm going to snipe the healing ward. This guy decides he's going to suicide for some reason. But I have to snipe the healing ward. It means that their push, at very worst, can't be sustained. So I just roll in, I drop some remnants, I kill the creeps. All good, I'm going to run back at this point. They're sieging our base, but they don't actually have a lot of tower damage. I guess they have the Wind Ranger, but it's still a bit risky for them. I notice that they're all here. If anybody goes top at this point, I know that the push is stopped, and they've become a little bit panicked. And so I see, as soon as I see that Mirana at top, right? As soon as I see that Mirana at top, I'm going to look for this roll. I tell him, repel me, I'm going to look for stragglers. Look, this guy actually clockwork rocketed. I see the blink out. I see this guy's going to start TPing. I see the Mirana at top. Look for the free pickoff again. He doesn't think I'm going to go for this, but I absolutely have to. So I kill him really quickly. And that's another Bloodstone charge and another kill. And that's just helping me get inches forward. So I look for the pickoff there. I force out the wave. There is the possibility that everyone's here. I dodged that. But I think I actually... This was such a good trap setup by them. The Juggernaut's so quick. And he diffusal bladed me. I was shouting at my Omni Knight to ult right here. I was like, ulti, ulti, but he decided to heal me and then wait when he could have done both at the same time. But whatever, it's still my fault for getting picked off. My Lion dies at this point too. Our Guardian Angel has been wasted, but their primary tower damage dealer is dead, and I'm going to be up in 20 seconds, so I tell my team, okay, we can hold this still. Their team does the correct thing. They're just trying to play a little bit patiently. They know at this point that they're still ahead. And my philosophy still at this point is, if we hold the tower defenses, I can still rack up Bloodstone charges. I know that this guy here is a top by himself, because remember, he decided to push by himself. I misjudge where he is, but eventually I find where he is. This is the problem with Mirana, is he only gets 1 leap. So I get another pickoff for free. And that's what I'm looking for right now, is I'm looking for individual hero pickoffs at all times. I know the Wind Ranger is going to come mid right now. The tower mid is actually quite low, so there's 3 heroes still at bottom right now. But we can deal with 3-on-4s, and the Clockwork's doing a really good job of just constantly cogging, and the Juggernaut can't fight into that, and so they're milling around the bottom, but I'm steadily picking up net worth on them. So I go back to base, I heal. I'm considering if there's a fight at bottom. I force out really quickly. I gotta see if somebody's bottom again. Nope. So let's. All right. So he just saw pink right here for a brief second, and you have to learn how to use this information to your advantage. I sell my bottle, I get a TP scroll, it's really important. He's just firing off rockets. I go to this side of the map again. I notice at bottom they're being killed, but whatever, you can't help that. That's the thing, is that you can't really fight 4v5, which is what my team keeps doing. Instead, I look for the opposite side of the map again. I don't stupidly, aimlessly go in and try to help my team in a lost fight. Instead, I try to use this time to farm and open up space for myself. So I got like 2 waves right there. I noticed that they're at bottom again. My team manages to get picked off, but I roll in. At this point, you do have to fight. I have like 100 HP and I think I survive. So, really good GA. At this point, I think we are going to get Raxed. There's very little chance that we're going to save this. But he doesn't have Aegis, and I think we can maybe look for 1 or 2 pickoffs on the retreat, and that's what I'm going for. So we managed to see this Zeus. We kill him. You have to look out for these pickoffs on the way out, because you know they're going to have low mana and low HP. And I don't want to roll up here in case the Clockwork Hook misses. I've racked up another. Now I'm at even Bloodstone charges. We've successfully lost our racks. But again, it's okay. You're only down 1 racks at 29 minutes without a hard lane. With like the worst 3 net worths in the game or something like that. But we're going to force out mid because I know that their entire team is dead. I'm going to go for a Hex at this point, just so I can look for the Juggernaut as a pickoff. That was a regen rune at this point. And notice I go for their jungle first, because I don't know where anybody is on the map. I have to play this a little bit safe. Now I'm going to farm top, because it's close enough to my base that I know that they won't risk this. And I'm going to continue to farm out this lane, and play it a little bit safe. I'm playing high now. They Zeus ult, and they actually Roche. I tell my Clockwork, go on him, go on him, go on him, and I'm all the way over here, and I'm going to look for the pickoff right here. We get a free kill right there, like that. I know that they had just Roche on, so I know we have enough time to do this. I think an arrow hits me like right when I TP out. That was really lucky. But that's the breaks. So another pickoff successful by using good ward vision. Like, this ward just won us the game. So I know right now that there's one hero up top. I just killed their Zeus, and I saw another hero up here. And so at worst, even with the Aegis, I shout to my team, it's a 2-on-4 scenario. We have to fight this. And whenever this is what you want to do as a Storm. You want to look for pickoffs, and then you want to force people to play Frayed, and you can look for advantages here. These guys are so cocky, because this guy has a BKB, this guy's a Juggernaut with the Shadow Blade. They just assume that they're unkillable. But look, I've got my Hex now. So I'm definitely looking for this fight. So I Hex this guy. I tell my team, ignore Wind Ranger. Go all in on this Jug. We kill him. He doesn't have the Aegis. I know that their team still can't get here fast enough. I'm screaming at my team. I say, Sand King, Sand King. I ping as well, just in case that they didn't realize. Our Clockwork gets the hook off. I think my Lion dies right here, but it's okay. This guy's doing a really good job of keeping me full HP. I know their Wind Ranger has used BKB. Her Aegis is down as well. So if she hasn't preemptively popped a Wind Run, I know she's dead. So look, I'm immediately rolling in on her. I have Repel on me. Their Juggernaut's dead. I know she can't do anything about it. Their BKB was wasted. I see Sand King right here. I don't want my teammate to die. That's another free pickoff for us. And suddenly, just like that, we've killed 3 heroes and we've killed their Aegis just by taking advantage of sloppy mistakes. Because people in pub games, if you're watching this on YouTube, you probably think, oh, this is a 2K pub game, everyone sucks. But these are 5K players. But it's human nature. People tend to make mistakes. And that's why playing the late game is so great. Because I know that I have a game plan, and I'm going to be able to lead my teammates into it. It's just farming apart from the enemy and looking for pickoffs one by one. So I know their Zeus is over here. If I rotate right now, though, it'll be super obvious. My Clockwork actually looks for the kill right there, and he does get it. And he forces the suicide. The Zeus DCs at this point. He reconnects, though. And I just kind of pop in and out. Don't really do anything with my mana right there. And now at this point, if we just take a look at the gold, we were behind about 20, that's like 18k, I don't really know. But now it's only 15k, which is still really huge, but kind of getting manageable. They've only got a 5k net worth or XP lead. And it still looks miserable, right? We don't have our safe lane carry. We're still really far behind. I don't have a single right-clicking core aside from myself. Like, look at our lineup. I have a Clockwork, I've got a Lion, an Omni. It's just not looking great for us. But I still tell my team, I was like, okay, Storm can still initiate. We can still play the late game out. Just don't be worried. Just focus on farming. I'll look for pickoffs. So using this ward for a brief second, I saw the Zeus right here. I looked for an individual pickoff right there. They're still not 5-manning, and they're still getting kind of picked off on the map. Because they think to themselves at this point, we have to farm and try to get some key items. Look, this guy's dead. I pick him off as well. So that's 2 kills right now. And they do manage to kill our Clockwork, or our Omni Knight, but that's still a good trade. I'll take that. We'll take 2 for 1. And at this point, they have to be thinking to themselves, this game's getting kind of hard. They initiate a bottom. I'm kind of looking around for stuff, but they show 2 heroes mid. I shout to my team, I think. I said, at worst, there's only going to be 2 heroes here, but I don't think we actually go for it. And notice how I always play their jungle and not mine. The reason for that is because when teams are ahead, what will end up happening is that people will look for farm on their side of the jungle, or they'll look to pick you off. And so I just go, and it seems dangerous, but it's not really, especially with the ward here, is that I just keep playing their jungle, because I know that it'll slow down pushes if they have to farm me in their own jungle, and it opens up our own jungle for my team to farm as well. So there's a lot of dual benefits. I'm still just looking for minor one-on-one pickoffs. I never try to trade my life. If I can, I know their entire team's coming for me. This is so good. Like, it's opening up space for my entire team to farm random parts of the map. That arrow is so close to hitting me too. I'm dropping remnants just for flying vision. My Clockwork actually finds a pickoff here, and this Juggernaut dies off the bat again. Really good play by my Lion. I know at this point it's a 3-on-3 fight, and I heavily favor us in this fight. The Sand King's going to die now too. This Wind Ranger does have BKB on. I think she pops Wind Run as well, but she's so far behind at this point. I think she actually 100% dies here. Yeah. So now I'm godlike. I still think we're behind in net worth. oh, we're only 10k behind now. It seems so small. And we're just taking a lot more advantage of our pickoffs because I don't die, and I'm looking for core heroes. So now we take their mid-racks, we get Sand King ulted. Okay, that's really bad. Half of our team is dead. It's all good, I guess. Can't really help that. Their Juggernaut's alive. Maybe we just pushed our advantage a little too much. I farm out their jungle with this time. Notice this is really formulaic. I do the same thing over and over again. I farm out their jungle, I look for individual pickoffs. I'm just looking for 1 or 2 heroes at a time. If it's a 5-on-5 fight like it is right now, then I decide I'm going to prepare. So at this point, their team is thinking to themselves, okay, we have to fight. My Clockwork gets a good pickoff here. I roll in. I'm trying to find this Juggernaut right here. He finally gets his ultimate off, but it's only going to be on this guy who's Ghost Scepter. He does cast the Diffusal to kill him, but I kill their Zeus. Our Lion and our other guy have died. Now we've lost three heroes. It's only me and the Troll, but our Omni Knight buys back, and they're going for the racks at this point. But here's what I do know. I know this guy doesn't have BKB. I know this guy doesn't have his ultimate. I know this guy doesn't have BKB either. And so their pick-off potential, if I have Repel on with Linken's, is really low. So all I have to do is heal. We pop our glyph. They're still trying to take this. But look, I immediately go for this guy. I've got Linken's on. I know this guy's the only person that can stop me. I've got the heal on me as well. I'm going to kill this guy for free. I know that Omni Slash is down. I know that this guy's BKB is down as well. And look, we just get pick-off after pick-off after pick-off. And that's my ultra kill. And now, I've gotten such a large advantage, and I've got 24 Bloodstone charges, that I really don't have to worry about anything anymore. We've pressed our advantage so much. Their Juggernaut comes out, but without his ultimate, he's really not that scary. And having a Hex makes him so easy to die. So he actually just uses buyback there. The Sand King's going to go down as well, and now they're just collapsing one by one. They've just kind of given up kill after kill. It was a little bit too scary at times for us, but they've given up so many kills at this point that there's really no way for them to come back. And we didn't have our Troll, who ended up dying 7 times because we used them a few times improperly, but at this point I told my team we're going to Throne. I'm just doing some clown stuff at this point. And yeah, and this is how I won 28 points for free. I actually don't think we can end at this point, because I decided I was going to be a little bit too clowny. And the Zeus ult goes down, picks off a hero. I tell my Clockwork, try to pick off that gem, but I know that 2 of their heroes don't have buybacks, so I tell my team, I'm still telling them, I'm saying, okay, if we pick off the Juggernaut at this point, the game's over. You can't buy back. Everybody all in on the Juggernaut. And it's even just simple strategies like that that make it really manageable. Like, my Lion was playing really aimlessly, but I told him what to do in the fights and how to pick people off, and it was so successful in so many fights that we were able to catch up. I still play, at this point in the game, the opposite side of the jungle to force people over. I know that guy has a BKB. He has an Aegis now, too. He's really depressed at this point because he has no idea how this game got to this point. I've got 6 slots, no BKB necessary, no damage items necessary, only a Hex and a lot of random armor. I pick off their Sand King trying to split push off. I see this guy here too. I'm telling my team, hey, let's fight. We get another kill on their Wind Ranger as well. He doesn't have buyback. At this point, it's a 4-on-4 fight at worst. Their Juggernaut comes and ults us, but as soon as his ult's done, I know he's dead. Like, he's not going to be able to survive twice. GA comes down as well. That's another kill on the Jug. He doesn't have buyback, and at this point the game's over. They simply cannot win. We battle trans for fun. I was really excited at this point. Everybody on their team is really mad. Alright. So, if you're 4K, I uninstall. So I said uninstall. Because he was saying the Clockwork did really well. I was inflaming him there. Alright, and so we managed to win that game. Look how little CS my team had and all that jazz. Like, nobody on my team had more than 100 CS. And nobody on my team really had farm. We didn't have any late game heroes. Like, Lion is okay, so is Omni, but they had a lot of great counters. Our laning phase went absolutely abysmally. Our Troll disconnected at the 8-minute mark, fed a bunch, and then left again. But we still managed to win it just because we decided we were going to work together as a team. I decided to play for the pickoffs, and we were able to win as a result of that. And that's so important, is that we always just had the mentality of going to the late game. One of my teammates recognized who I was, and he told our allies, he's like, okay guys, this is Blitz, just listen to what he's gonna say. And you know, I guess it helps my notoriety in some ways. Like, if people know who I am, then they'll listen to me a little bit more. But I've had plenty of games where a bunch of Peruvian guys have no idea who I am, and they'll still listen to me as long as I have a clear-cut game plan in mind. And so this is how 99% of my games look, is that we absolutely get destroyed in the early game, things go terribly wrong, but then I just play for the late game. I play their jungle. If you're on the dire side, you just flip it around. You play their jungle, you try to force 5 heroes to come and pick you off, and this is about it. So after my 2 early game phase deaths, I only had 1 death on top of that, so I ended up 31-3. And it doesn't really look that difficult. All I did there was look for pickoffs with my first Orchid. I try to get them to group up as 5 and push, and if you do that, it's not scary. Like, Storm can't defend 5-man pushes, but he can damn sure push faster and farm faster if the enemy shows themselves all on the map. Like, the scarier style for me personally is when they don't go for pushes until they pick me off repeatedly. But almost no team in matchmaking is organized enough to do that. And if you play the map well enough, it usually doesn't happen. The ideal thing that happens, just to reiterate, is that if one hero comes to defend your push, then you pick them off, or you look for a 4-on-4 fight at the bottom. Alright, so that was long enough. That should do it. If you have any questions or comments, you can leave them below. I believe my next guide will be Storm versus TA in the mid lane, and I'll just try to pump out content on a regular basis. I have no idea how well these videos are going to be received and all that. I felt like this wasn't very informative, but it helped, at least for me, to think about the game. When I was watching this replay, it really helped. Like, this is my dry run, so I have no idea how this looked. So thank you for watching. My Twitter's BlitzDota. Shout out to Frenzy and AY2000 for spamming me while I was trying to record. Goodbye.